Alright guys, super exciting combo video today. We are doing Prank Kids, one of my favorite decks. I've had, profiles on it in the past. It's a really consistent deck now. It's got the new Link 1, I'll show you here. The Link 1 is really good because even if it had a terrible effect, it would still be good, but it actually has a pretty decent effect. But the reason this card's so good is because it turns any Prank Kid monster into like a 1-card combo, because you can summon the Prank Kid monster, link it away into the Link 1, and then you can special summon from your deck, and you can basically keep Link climbing for free. But it's super good. But yeah, I'm gonna show you a few different combos today. The number one problem for this deck is Nibiru. I'm also gonna show you how to play around Nibiru, because that is absolutely key. You need to know how to play around Nibiru. If you can't play around Nibiru, you're gonna have a lot of problems, because that is just about the only card left that can beat this deck. Like Ash Blossom does very little, Ghost Ogre does very little, all of the generic hand traps do very little. I'll even show you how to play around Dark Ruler No More. Like, this deck is extremely versatile and it's extremely consistent. It really might be one of the better decks in the meta. But let's get started. This combo requires any of the Prank Kids or Prank Kids plan their field spell. So it's pretty insane. If you're playing a 40 card deck, 15 different cards will start your combo. So almost half your deck is essentially like one big combo starter. So yeah, it's pretty sick. All you need is a Prank Kids monster, like I said, or the field spell, and then a card. The reason you need a card is because Roxy's requires you to banish and then draw in order to use its second effect. So it's not, you don't really you need the card to complete the combo, but like the card doesn't really matter, because all you're just gonna banish and draw anyway. It literally, this card could be anything. It doesn't even matter. And you're gonna get it back. You're gonna get it replaced. So we're going to use the Roxy's to summon a Meow Meow. We're going to activate the effect of Roxy's Engrave. We're going to banish draw. We're going to special summon. You can special summon any of them, but typically right now you want to summon the Fansies, just to get just to dump as quick as possible into the graveyard, just in case you do get Nibiru on this combo. Then we're going to link both of these away to special summon Doodle Doo, which is our search, and we're going to activate. Always make the chain link 1 Doodle Doo, because he searches from the deck, and the chain link 2, always make it the Fansies, because worst case scenario you don't get the send. But like I said, we're going to send the plan, and then we're going to special summon. It doesn't matter who you special summon from here, but just make sure it's one of the ones you didn't use yet. And then we're going to search the Pandemonium with the Doodle Doo. Next, we are going to activate the Pandemonium, which is not once per turn, but it does lock us into Prank Kids for the rest of the turn. We're going to summon a copy of Rocket Ride. So we're going to fusion those two away, and then we're going to activate the effect of Dropsies in Graveyard, and then we're going to chain block it with the Rocket Ride. This deck chain blocks like a pro. If you have the field spell, chain blocks even better. And then we're going to use the effect of the Dropsies in order to gain 1,000 life points and special summon our last one, which is going to be the Lampsies. So now we're going to activate the effect of Rocket Ride, tribute itself, in order to special summon the Doodle Doo. And it doesn't matter who we special summon outside of Doodle Doo, but it just make sure it's one of the three like main colors, being like wind, and I mean it really doesn't matter. You'll see why. We're going to activate the effect of Doodle Doo in order to tribute itself to add back 2 Prank Kids cards to our hand, which is going to be the Pandemonium and the Plan. So we're going to add those 2 back to our hand. And now we are going to link summon again into Bow Wow Bark. And this is going to be our final link summon. We're going to activate Lampsies. The last one we didn't activate. We're going to inflict 1,000 life points. And we're going to special summon. Make sure when you special summon this one, it is the Dropsies or the Fansies, not the Roxy's, because we obviously need to, we need to have enough to summon Battle Butler. So I'm just going to summon the Dropsies. Although, like I said, it doesn't matter. And now we're just going to set the plan and set the Pandemonium. If we're playing online, we got to turn on manual chaining, that way we don't miss anything. This is a random card, so I'm not going to set it, but basically this deck actually plays more on your opponent's turn than it does on your turn. So the only way I can really show you what we've actually done is by ending our turn. It's going to ask us if we want to do anything. Not yet. We're going to wait till our opponent commits to something. They're going to normal summon. Now we want to activate something. We're going to activate the Bow Wow Bark. We're going to tribute it, although you can also tribute the Meow Meow, but at this point, don't tribute the Meow Meow. I mean, you don't banish the Meow Meow out of the graveyard. We're going to tribute the Bow Wow Bark in order to add back the 2 monsters that we don't have. So we have the water one, so we'll add back the fire and the wind back to our hands. We don't want to chain anything right now. Add those two back. Now on resolution, we're going to activate the Prank Kids Pandemonium. No, we don't want to activate anything in response. To summon our Battle Butler using these three. And we're also going to obviously resolve all three of them in appropriate chain links. Again, you can chain block, so make sure that the Fansies is your first chain link. That way they can't stop that, because that one's technically the most important. So we're going to inflict the proper damage. Now we can summon the Roxys, and this is why Avarice and stuff like that is so important in the deck. You can see just how quickly we're going through our deck. Now we're going to send a card. At this point, it really doesn't matter what we'll send, but we'll just send this just to be, just for no reason. And then I guess we can just summon this right here. Oh, that was dumb. I should have summoned the water one, but I mean, it really is irrelevant now. And now we're going to wait till our opponent, yep, they go into battle phase. You actually have multiple board wipes here. You can activate the Battle Butler, and instead of tributing Battle Butler, you can actually tribute the Meow Meow. And then right there, you banish the Meow Meow, it blows up their board. And then also, like, let's say they say, okay, end my turn, and they set 3 back row. You can also activate the plan, and then you can link summon with these guys. And now you can actually, well, yeah, we're going to resolve Roxy's, banish draw, and then special summon anything we want. But more importantly, we can tribute this during our opponent's turn to board wipe them again. And these board wipes are actually not once per turn. Like, the other effects of these monsters are once per turn, but the board wipes are not once per turn. So you can actually destroy your opponent's back row and destroy their front row in one turn, or you can just destroy their back row for twice, or their front row twice, which is pretty crazy. You can destroy all their monsters or all their spells and traps 2 times in a turn. It's insane. I mean, it really is. And this is all off of just one card. Like, just to do that much, you can pack your deck full of just nothing but hand traps and then a bunch of Prank Kids monsters, and you can basically wreck their board twice a turn, which is just bananas. And on top of that, you have stuff like Pot of Avarice, and also they have a main deck card called Prank Kid Pranks, which I'm going to show you here. This card is just insane too, because it lets you shuffle back 3 cards at the end of your deck and then draw 1, so you can kind of recycle everything. But as you can see here, we leave our opponent on very little, and then we just, kind of like Boral Sword them the next turn if we need to. But that is combo number 1. That combo does not play through Nibiru, but I'll show you another combo here that does play through Nibiru. Alright guys, so this is combo number 2. This combo does indeed play through Nibiru, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. All you need for this combo is any 2 Prank Kids and any fusion spell. So you already play 15 copies of the Prank Kids, because you play, like I said, you play the Prank Kids Place, and then you play, 3 of each of the 4 Prank Kids, so you're playing 15 copies of that. On top of that, Polymerization is searchable through so many different ways. You can play Polymerization, you can play Invocation, you can play the Fusion, the Fusionist, you can play, I forget his exact name, but he's a card, the swamp monster that lets you discard itself to add Polymerization. You can play so many different copies of this. Although I would recommend probably sticking to about 3 of this and maybe like 1 or 2 Invocations. But yeah, it's pretty nuts. What you need, yeah, you just need any 2 Prank Kids and then Polymerization. Very consistent. This is a very, very average hand. It's not like, wow, this is just broken. But this hand will let you play through Nibiru. Also, like always, we need 1 extra card, because Roxy's needs to banish and draw. You will get the card back anyway. We're going to activate the Polymerization to special summon Rocket Ride. We're going to use these 2. And then we're going to activate both effects in Graveyard, starting with the Fansies Chainlink 1, Roxy's Chainlink 2, and then always Chainlink 3 to chain block is the Rocket. So Roxy's going to resolve next, banish draw, and then we're going to special summon a copy of Dropsies. That's our second summon, and then we're going to send a copy of Lampsies, and then we are going to summon another Dropsy. So summon 2 copies of Dropsies. It has to be 2 copies of Dropsies, so we can go into the next card, which is going to be our Totally Awesome. This is going to be our 4th summon. So here now we are on summon number 4, and they basically couldn't even Nibiru us if they wanted to yet, but if they did have Nibiru, now they're going to lose it to a Totally Awesome. And also, like, let's say you didn't, all of this so far has actually been hand trap proof, because we chain blocked with the Rocket Ride. So let's say they had a copy of Ash Blossom. Now you actually protected yourself from any hand trap, on top of protecting yourself from here on in, you protect yourself from every single hand trap. You even protect yourself from impermanence. It's kind of insane. You protect yourself from every single hand trap. And on top of that, you protect yourself from Nibiru for the rest of the combo. And like I said, none of this has been interruptible so far. I mean, unless they had like a copy of Ghost Bell, which nobody plays. But other than that, I mean, it's been pretty smooth. So from here on in, you have protection. Then we activate the effect of Rocket Ride to special summon the Roxy's and the Fansies back. I know that doesn't seem right, but we're going to do that. We're going to go into the Doodle Doo. And then we're going to activate the effect of Doodle Doo in order to search a copy of Pandemonium. So we don't have that. Next, we are going to activate the effect of Doodle Doo to add back one copy of... Yeah, it has to be basically one of the colors that you need to fusion, and then definitely the Lampsies, one Lampsies, and one of the fusion cards. So right now we have a normal summon. If you haven't noticed yet, we're going to summon the Lampsies. We're going to link the Lampsies away for a Meow Meow because we want to get it engraved. Both of them we want to get engraved. So we're going to activate the effect of Lampsies. Do we want to chain? No, we do not want to chain fusion. And then yes, we want to summon the last Dropsies, which we haven't used yet. Now with this Dropsies, we are going to go into the copy of Bow Wow Bark. And now we got, most importantly, the Meow Meow in the graveyard. We're going to activate the effect of Dropsies to summon a copy of Roxy's, because Roxy's is the one we don't have access to on our opponent's turn, simply because we're just not going to have access to it. So it's good to have it. That way we can basically fusion, you kind of like have all of them around. So from here on in, we kept this in our hand. We have a negate. If we didn't negate during our turn, we're going to have a negate during their turn. So we're going to set the copy of Pandemonium, and we're going to end our turn. Now, oh shoot, alright, so I was supposed to hit manual, but basically, if you wanted to, for example, play around play around Dark Ruler or more, and play around stuff like that, you could have actually activated this in standby phase to get your cards back, and then waited till your opponent like enter the battle phase or something like that, or started setting up their combo, and waited till they started setting up their combo, and then just summon the Battle Butler then, and then quick effect destroy their field. So you can always do that to play around the Dark Ruler no more. You can also easily play around the Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm is incredibly easy to play around this deck because if you use Bow Wow Bark to bring cards back to your hand, all of your Prank Kids can't be destroyed by card effects, and most of your Prank Kids you're going to summon in defense mode anyway. It's kind of unreal. So now we're going to normal summon something. We're going to activate the effect of Bow Wow Bark, tribute itself, in order to add back the Lampsies and the Flamesies. Not the Flamesies. Yeah, the Lampsies and the Dropsies. And then we're going to also activate the Pandemonium. Now, you can actually have added a different card back with Bow Wow Bark if you had to negate, for example, with Toad, but we did not. But we're going to activate the effect of Pandemonium in order to special summon the Battle Butler. And fuse the ones obviously in our hand. Summon the Battle Butler up here. And then activate all three effects in Graveyard. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 3. And then, no, we don't want to chain that yet. And then we're going to basically just special summon everything we have left in our deck. We're going to send the plan. Add back that. And then send the... we're going to special summon. It doesn't matter what we special summon, like I said. Basically have all this stuff here. And now that we've special summoned everything, we can activate the Battle Butler. We can either tribute itself, or we can even tribute the Meow Meow in the graveyard, and then we can just basically blow up their board, and we can actually do that twice in one turn, like I said before. So we have that Toad negate, plus we can pop their board twice in a row. The following turn, after you destroy their board 2 times, you played around Dark Ruler no more, you played around the Nibiru, you played around basically every single thing that they could have done. Next turn, once their board is empty, you just go into the Goat, 2, 3, 4, go into the Boral Sword. Can't activate anything yet. Switch this to attack mode, and that's it. It's basically curtains here. We're just gonna wrap them up here. We're gonna attack, turn off manual chaining, attack with a Totally Awesome, and then activate the effect of Boral Sword. Switch this to defense, and then just attack one final time, which is kind of crazy. Because off of just the polymerization and any 2 Prank Kids, you play around Nibiru, you put up a negate if you need it. And on top of doing all of that, you can actually, on top of playing through every single hand trap that your opponent could have possibly drawn, you could blow up their board 2 times in a row. Incredibly consistent and amazing combo. So let's get on to the next one. It's going to be a lot simpler than this one. Alright, so this is the third and final combo. So basically for this combo is extremely simple. All you need for this combo is any 2 Prank Kids monsters. This combo is basically a very conservative combo, meaning that if you're in game 3 and you know if your opponent knows what you're playing, and you know what they've sided in appropriately in order to beat your deck, like they've sided in Nibiru, they've sided in Dark Riddler no more, they've sided in Lightning Storm, stuff like that. This is what you do in response to that. This is basically, it requires any 2 Prank Kids to do this combo. One of them has to be either Lampsies, Fansies, or Dropsies, which is not asking a lot. I'll say that. It's basically 12 cards in your deck. You'll definitely have it. But basically, yeah, it requires any of those to do. It's going to basically give you a Battle Butler with two disruptions in basically 4 summons, which is going to be very useful. Also, you're going to have nothing on the field to start, so your opponent's going to have to commit resources before they can do anything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon either one of them. Fansies is usually the best one. We're going to normal summon the Fansies, link the Fansies away into a copy of Meow Meow. This is our second summon, so Fansies is 1, this is 2. We're going to activate the effect of Fansies in the graveyard. If we did not start with if we started with a copy of Roxy's and something else, obviously you'd have to summon the Roxy's, and then eventually when you got to Fansies, you would have to actually send the Dropsies, so you have all 3 in your graveyard to add back. But since we did not need to do that, since we did not start with the Roxy's, we're going to send instead the plan. It really doesn't matter because we're not going to use the plan this turn anyway. Then we're going to special summon, and we're going to go ahead and special summon the Dropsies. This is summon number 3. Now we're going to link both of them away into a copy of Doodle Doodle Doo, or Doodle Doo. And then we're going to activate the effect of Doodle Doo. We are not going to activate the effect of the Dropsies, because if we do, we are getting to our 5th summon and we get Nibiru, so we're just not going to activate it. We're going to use the effect of Doodle Doo to add Pandemonium, and then we are going to tribute the Doodle Doo in order to add back the Fansies and the Dropsies, and that is it. Like I said, this is a very like limited conservative combo. What it basically does is it puts Meow Meow in graveyard. It leaves your board completely empty. On top of that, it's 4 summons, so you don't have to worry about getting Nibiru. And basically here, we just end our turn, we set 1 card, and we pass. We have all 3 we need in our hand in order to play through whatever we want. We obviously turn on the manual chaining, we end our turn. You can make your decision. You could have shotgun this in, well, not in standby phase because you can't. This only works during the main phase, but what you could have done is you could have activated during the beginning of main phase 1 and immediately gone into a copy of Battle Butler. But usually I like to wait till they commit something to the board, like they summon at least 1 card, because then we can begin sort of the disruptions there. But yeah, we normally wait till they make whatever play they're going to make. If they beginning of main phase 1 target this for destruction, or like activate Lightning Storm, whatever, it's not even a big deal. They can't Dark Ruler no more because you literally have nothing on your field. But basically, yeah, they summon anything, you're gonna flip the Pandemonium, you're gonna go into your Battle Butler, use the 3. We're gonna summon in the extra monster zone because it's easier. We save more spots down here. We're gonna resolve all 3 of these, 1, 2, and 3. Chain links really don't matter as long as Fansies somewhere at somewhere at chain link 1 or 2, just because that's the one we want to resolve. And then we're going to special summon 3, including Roxy's. We're going to we'll just send the Pranks. We're going to summon a Lampsies, and we're going to special summon a Fansies, not that it matters. And then we are going to, on the resolution of that, activate the Battle Butler, banish our graveyard card to blow up his board, and there it goes. Now here's the other thing. If they continue to summon more monsters, you could have, again, double board wiped, because actually the board wipe is not once per turn. So you can board wipe twice in 1 turn. So it's pretty crazy. Just off of any 2 Prank Kids monsters, you have a double board wipe, and it's below 4 it's below 5 summons for Nibiru, and it's actually pretty tough to interact with other than that. But yeah, that's it. That is basically it. If you enjoyed these combos, hit the subscribe button, and thank you for watching.